Hi there, welcome back to my channel, and I know that it's been a while since I have uploaded anything, and well, now I guess it's the time to upload something. And I've had about 160 subscribers, like loyal subscribers that stayed and didn't subscribe since, it's been almost a year since I've uploaded, but I'd like to thank you for being loyal, and I guess let's begin. So we have um, today's reading is why don't they answer? Like, why don't they answer their messages? I mean, your messages or emails or whatever. So we have three piles over here. That's the pile number one, number two, and number three right here. So pick a pile and let's begin. Hello, pile number one. So let's see why don't they answer. So we got three cards over here: two of wands, eight of swords, and king of swords right here. So we got a bunch of swords. Well, not too many, just two, but okay. So the two of wands that were here, we'll start with this card and go into this card and the next card. Um, the two of wands tells us something about the reason why they might not be answering to um, your messages is because perhaps they are struggling between some choices. Usually, obviously, like if you look at this card over here, you could see the world, and it's the world that in this card represents their own personal world, not the world that we live in. So they might have to make a choice in between their own feelings, whatever it is. I don't know. Now, if we move on to the Eight of Swords over here, Eight of Swords represents, usually tells us that they have to face some kind of fears, their own fears, and they need some strength. They need to find some strength to overcome those fears. And as well, it tells us they might be caught up in some kind of situation. So, I mean, again, going back to this card over here, they and this card right here, so they are caught up in some kind of situation and they have to make a choice. And whatever choice it is, we don't know yet. And maybe we might not even know it at all, but you might know what it is that's going on with them now that you have some kind of insight into what the cards are telling you. So the King of Swords over here, usually it represents um, like a male figure, but not someone too close to the person. It can represent like a boss or some older person, and that person might be influencing the fact that they're not answering your messages. However, it if there is not a person like an older male person in their lives, they might it might represent them, and that means that the king usually sees both sides, but the king expects you to follow. So did you have an argument of some sort and they're being stubborn and that's why they're not answering? Yet they do see their side, they do see their faults, if there were any. And well, I guess there's not much more to say to this situation, and that's a kind of short reading, so I hope you like this short reading and I hope you come back for more. Hello, pile number two. We have three cards over here: Nine of Wands, Three of Cups, and Temperance. And so let's see, why is it that they don't answer? So Nine of Wands over here. Well, let's take a look at this card and we can see that basically the card kind of tells us what it is. The person is afraid to get hurt, but they're determined. They are determined to get whatever it is that they want to get. Now, what is it that they want to get? Now, if we go to Three of Cups over here, the Three of Cups is a number of three is the number of action, and the Three of Cups tells us that they might want to have some new beginnings. The card itself can as well tell us something about new passion. So, does it mean that they have something new in their life? I don't think so. I think that they want to get something new, so they want to get whatever it is you had with them to a new level. And they want to take action now. Of course, they are afraid to get hurt, and yet they want to get what they want to get. Now, if we go to Temperance over here, the Temperance tells us that, well, it tells us a few things like balance or equilibrium, or, just it's all about finding balance. And however, it can tell us one thing. It can tell us that this card can serve as a reminder to carefully measure everything. So, are they trying to measure everything and they're afraid to get hurt? Do they want a new relationship, as a new beginning in whatever you guys had? But they are trying to make it balanced. So, what we have to, consider here is that sometimes, striving for perfect balance is a never-ending task. So that might be the reason why they're not, answering, because they just haven't found that balance yet. And I know it's been a short reading, 2 minutes and 49 seconds. I hope you like this reading, and I hope you come back for more. Hello, pile number 3. So we have 3 cards over here: Two of Swords, Eight of Cups, and the Devil. Okay, so let's see why is it that they don't answer. We'll start with Two of Swords. Now, Two of Swords tells us that they might be having some kind of clash of ideas, or maybe even words. They just don't know how to put their words together. Now, as well, it tells us that they are torn in between 2 choices. So, what choices are those? Now, and as well, they could be caught, between the 2 ideas that they have. Now, Eight of Cups over here. Now, we can see that this witch over here is walking away, and what does it tell us is that the card can represent that someone wants to walk away from their addiction, or like vice, or he or she might want something greater. Yet, however, they do feel sad leaving their previous life behind. Now, if we go into the Devil right here, it's quite an interesting card over here, and it could mean a lot of things. Now, the Devil again can represent addiction or obsession, things like bad habits or unhealthy decisions. And when it represents like a person, it can represent a powerful person. So who is the powerful person? Is that you? Do they want to, are they obsessed with you? And do they want to walk away from such relationship, in the sense that they might want to tame it down? That's why they don't contact you. Now, this card over here as well can tell us about things like sexual power and persuasions and unhealthy codependency. So what is it that they are struggling with? Because we are all slaves to something, and as what I I'm not exactly sure what the cards are trying to tell us exactly, but we can see two choices. We can see that they want to leave their old life behind, yet it's hard to leave it. They feel sad leaving it behind, whatever like ways they had. And we can see this card full of um, kinda different mixed energy. And you know, the thing is that it might tell us that they're struggling with something as well. And the devil is not necessarily the better one, that the one you don't know. And temptation can be hard to resist. So maybe all those reasons, which are kind of mixed up, are the reasons why they don't want to answer you. And you have to, you know, you have to remember that every reading that you have is only for that moment. Things change, and if you have a reading, say, done the next day, it might be a very different reading. So, because energy and things do change. And I do hope you like this reading, and I do hope you come back for more.